places in America where the road goes quiet, where legends still breathe, and where the line between truth and folklore blurs. From haunted highways and cryptid sightings to stories that have echoed through generations, State of the Unknown takes you deep into the shadows of America's strangest corners. Hosted by Rob, this documentary-style podcast blends immersive storytelling with real research to uncover the tales that refuse to fade. If you like your mysteries murky and your folklore just a little too real, you might already be living in the state of the unknown. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts. Canadian Creepies is recorded on the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, under the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. These lands and waters have been cared for since long before Canada existed, and they remain deeply important to Indigenous communities today. As we tell stories about darkness, injustice, and memory, I want to acknowledge the very real histories of colonization, violence, and erasure that Indigenous peoples continue to endure. A land acknowledgement can't undo that harm, but it is a reminder to keep listening, learning, and supporting in truth and reconciliation in meaningful ways. We share these stories not to forget, but to shine light, always with respect for peoples and nations whose land we live on. Canadian Creepies covers true crime, dark history, and disturbing events. Some episodes may include graphic descriptions or sensitive subject matter. We do our best to handle every story with care and respect for those affected. That said, we sometimes use humor and sarcasm as a way to process heavy content, never to disrespect victims, survivors, or their families. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh, that's much better.
Much better. Before we begin, a brief content warning. This episode contains sexual violence, home invasion, and murder. This story involves a man who, for years, was seen as the kind of person you're trained to trust. Colonel Russell Williams was a senior Royal Canadian Air Force officer, and in 2009 became the commander of 8-Wing CFB Trenton, one of Canada's most important military bases. We need to be crystal clear about how we're handling this case. We will not glorify the offender. Victims and accountability come first. And when we talk about how, we mean how it happened in plain sight, not how to. Because the central tension here is as disturbing as it is real. A trusted leader, a public face of discipline and responsibility, was living a private pattern of escalating harm. Investigators ultimately connected Williams to a series of offenses that included dozens of break-ins and thefts of women's and girls' underwear, sexual assaults, and 2 murders. Corporal Marie-France Como, killed in late November 2009, and Jessica Lloyd, abducted and killed after disappearing on January 28th, 2010. And the case turns on something chillingly ordinary: police work, physical evidence, and a gap between reputation and reality. In early February 2010, the OPP canvassed drivers in the area tied to Jessica Lloyd's disappearance. Investigators focused on distinctive tire tracks, and Williams was questioned on February 7th, 2010, before confessing. Which brings us to the question guiding this episode. How does someone in plain sight commit extraordinary harm, and what systems failed to stop it sooner? Because in this case, the systems aren't just police procedures. They include the protective armor of rank, the assumptions that come with professional credibility, and the institutional blind spots that can form when someone looks like they belong until the evidence says otherwise.
I actually have a book on this guy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it came out years ago. I stole it from my mom. Yeah. She was like, make sure you give this back. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I won't.
Totally forgot to. I don't think I actually finished it, but I
was it
got
about like his crimes and stuff?
Yeah. And like how they caught him and stuff like that. So yeah, it was fucking Creepy.
Crazy. And it
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago.
No,
And crazy relevant to what's happening throughout the world now
sadly.
as well. You want to get into who he was?
Sure.
Oh, wait, before we get into it. Hey, welcome to Canadian Creepies.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. I'm Valerie.
And I'm Amanda Joy.
Here at Canadian Creepies, we don't shy away from politics. We simply do not. It's not in my DNA to do so. There's a lot going on, and as with every case that we cover, it seems to have, like, I didn't meticulously plan out my list in any way. It's just like, as I heard of things or as people suggested them to me, they get added to the list, and then I follow that list. And it keeps working out, like I say every episode, that something happens to be relevant, like in
Very
the real
serendipitous.
world. It's all very serendipitous. And this, I feel like, given what's happening in the United States right now, this is a very relevant case to be discussing. And fuck ICE.
Fuck. I had this conversation
Let me
with
get
my
that
mom
very
this
clear
morning.
off the start.
Yeah.
Fuck ICE. We're not.
When we say Canadian Creepies, it isn't just true crime, and my segment is a little more supernatural than some of the stuff we discuss here. But think about, like, the Holocaust. How fucking creepy was that?
Super creepy.
Right?
Yeah.
What happened during World War II in general, overseas in Japan, and
Yeah.
things that still go on in parts of the world today. There are things that are creepy and horrifying that are not just,
True crime. That
Yeah.
aren't just murder.
and that's what we're here to
Discuss.
highlight. And if you don't highlight it, it gets ignored, and then it doesn't get changed.
That's right.
So, William Russell Williams, who was he before the crimes?
Let's find out. I'm sure he was a piece of shit before, but
Usually that's how it starts.
he was a
You
man
know.
before, so.
So he was born David Russell Williams on March 7th, 1963 in Broomsgrove, Worcestershire.
Yes, Worcestershire, yeah.
Wash your sister sauce.
Yeah.
England.
He was from where Liam parents came from.
England. And he moved to Canada with his family and settled into Chalk River, Ontario, where his father worked at the Chalk River laboratories.
No, I like laboratories.
Laboratories.
Where's Chalk River from here? Let me see. Chalk. So from Niagara Falls. Oh, it's a K. Oh, it's a 6-hour drive. It's like Laurentian Hills, Renfrew County. Looks beautiful.
Speaking of, excuse me, Ontario locations, did you know that Welcome to Derry was filmed primarily in Ontario?
No, where?
Mostly Port Hope,
Oh, okay.
parts of Toronto. The school was a school in Hamilton, and then Juniper Hill, where they sell Crazy Lily Rayburn, is actually the Loretto Mount Carmel School here in Niagara Falls.
And we love that show. Shout out. Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, got a little sidetracked there, but
And we
you know.
love when people film in Canada.
Yeah, a lot actually. A lot of supernatural. I'm a huge supernatural fan, but a lot of that's filmed in Vancouver.
I was starting to watch the show last night called Haven. It was on Showcase. It came out with 5 seasons, so it was on from like 2010 to 2015. And I was looking at it and I was like, no. And it was set in Maine. And I was like,
Okay.
that is Nova Scotia for sure.
Yeah.
So I Googled where was Haven filmed, and it's like Nova Scotia. I'm like, yeah.
John, you know what? John's pretty good at pinpointing where
Yeah.
things are.
You can tell
are
by the
filmed.
sky.
Yeah, yeah, the skylines. So, accounts reported that his parents divorced when he was young. His mother remarried, and he attended a school in Toronto, completing his final year of Upper Canada College, UCC, as a boarding student while his family lived abroad.
Okay.
So I guess they went back to England, maybe?
While he was finishing high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
He studied economics and political science at the University of Toronto at the Scarborough campus. And he graduated in mid-1980s. There are different sources, though, that differ slightly on the exact year. So we'll just kind of say the 80s.
Mid-80s.
General, yeah. Reporting based on his military biography, which was later removed from the Department of National Defense website, which I guess so after all this shit came out.
I guess.
They're like, you are not a part of us.
Yeah. We don't claim you.
Yeah. And other coverage described a long RCAF career with progressively senior postings.
Royal Canadian Air Force.
Yeah. So he joined the Canadian Forces in 1987 and earned his flying wings in 1990.
Wait, so you were born in 87, weren't you?
86.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I was born in 1990. Not that we want it to line up with this guy. I'm just saying, imagine.
But it's
Close
just,
enough.
it makes it that much more relevant.
Yes.
Because it happened that much. You can connect with it easier because you have a connection to that time period.
Exactly.
Early postings include time at 3 Canadian Forces Flying Training School, CFB Portage-la-Prairie, as an instructor.
Oh, so he was an instructor first. Okay.
He served as a CFB Shearwater in the early 1990s, flying in coastal patrol and electronic warfare roles.
Okay.
He was later posted in Ottawa with the 412 Transport Squadron, where he flew VIP transport missions involving senior officials and dignitaries. Delicataries. I think actually in the book that I was reading, he's like flown Bill Clinton and like the prime ministers to and from places.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Like this just shows how high up he...
Well, no wonder he had a power complex.
Yeah. By the 2000s, he held senior leadership and staff roles. Coverage notes that he completed the Canadian Forces Command and Staff course and obtained a Master's of Defense Study from the Royal Military College. He commanded 437 Transport Squadron at the CFB Trenton. I am tongue-tied today.
That's okay.
It's because I'm diabetic and my blood sugar's a little high, and so I'm thirsty. And this was in the mid-2000s, and he served as a commanding officer.
Sorry, one sec. And that was CFB Trenton.
Trenton, yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
Sidetracked.
That's okay.
At the Camp Mirage during the Middle East posting supporting operations in Afghanistan, related to Afghanistan. On July 2009, he was sworn in as a wing commander at the CFB Trenton 8 Wing, a high responsibility commanding position at a major RCAF base.
Okay. So he had a lot of prominent positions within the Royal Canadian Air Forces. Okay.
Yeah, he worked his way up. And I mean, if you're transporting the prime minister and presidents, you have
to be trusted.
Yeah. Before his arrest, contemporaneous. Thank you.
Contemporaneous?
Okay.
That's a big word. Let's look that up. Because if we don't know, they don't know. Contemporaneous. Existing or occurring at the same period of time. Now
That's not what I would have thought that word meant.
No, but now we know.
Cool.
So, before his arrest,
yes,
contemporaneous reporting described him as a high-performing officer.
So there were several different places.
Gotcha.
Reporting.
All reporting cities. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
A retired lieutenant general quoted in a coverage described him as very intelligent, calm, hardworking, and dedicated. And he said that he was considered among the military's best and brightest.
I hate that.
Right?
I hate this.
Hindsight is
He wouldn't be one of the
thing.
actual best and brightest if we were covering him. Okay?
Right?
Okay? If you are one of the military's best and brightest, you don't end up on Canadian Creepies.
You understand that murder equals bad.
Murder equals bad.
Right.
Gun equals big responsibility.
With big responsibility comes, with power comes responsibility.
And also, more money, more problems. Just saying.
Mo money, mo problems. Media and reference summaries also describe him as a decorated pilot who flew Canadian Forces VIP aircraft for prominent. Did I read that already, or is that just?
It's just like a little.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a little back on itself.
He married Mary Elizabeth Harriman in 1991, The marriage later ended. Some sources report that the divorce happened in 2014, but...
So after he committed these crimes. Which you would. I mean, I guess you would. I mean, but people who do what he did are very good at,
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Serial killers and serial rapists, they are good at what they do.
They need to have those type of relationships to help them blend into communities and neighborhoods and make them less suspicious.
Yeah.
Neighbors and public-facing accounts describe the couple as outwardly conventional and respectable in their communities. They portrayed as a normal household in reports after his arrest.
Okay, so the neighbors all saw them as just like regular people.
Yeah.
Hi, how's it going?
Hello, Ted Bundy again.
Oh, look, it's Mary and David. David Russell.
It's the Williams.
Oh, it's the Williams.
It's the Williams. Publicly, he held senior command responsibilities and was viewed by colleagues as capable, disciplined officer, as reflected in the record's descriptions above, or that we just stated.
Yeah.
Privately, police laid extremely serious charges in early February of 2010. In an official February 8th, 2010 statement, the chief of air staff acknowledges the charges against him and noted the high level of responsibilities attached to his role as a wing commander. The verifiable records show a stark contrast: a man with rank, institutional trust, and significant access, including commanding authority and mobility, and was later charged charged and convicted with several crimes.
You're doing great.
I'm reading ahead of myself is what I'm doing.
Just slow down. There's no rush.
The combination of power and respectability and access is a documented part of the backdrop to this case, and it shaped how completely his private offending divergence and his private offenses diverged from his public position.
That's right.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For centuries, the seed of the Mystrica fragrance tree, nutmeg, has been sought after by people all over the world for its perceived medicinal and magical powers. But why was this spice really so valuable? The answer may surprise you. This is the secret story of nutmeg.
And that's who he was as a person. Just kidding. There's more. These are the early... so I don't really have much more to say on that. Like, he got married. I'm glad I didn't hear maybe he doesn't have kids.
As far as I...
Or we're pretty good about not... I don't
know.
usually ask if they have kids. I don't want their names in these.
Yeah.
Kids are innocent. So let's talk about... So now that we've talked about all the things he achieved and how much of a trusted person he was in the Royal Canadian Air Force...
You know what's funny? Just going back to the comparison of Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy also dealt with political parties. Like, he did security for politicians.
Yeah. He was his own lawyer.
Yeah.
That's how he escaped, because he wanted...
Twice.
Yeah, twice, because he wanted to escape, he just did that,
Yeah, he was in the library.
The law library window. Jesus.
Researching, like, how to defend his own case. And he
went,
also...
I'm gonna leave now.
He also worked at suicide prevention hotline.
Yes. Yeah, like, what the hell?
You never know.
You never know. So here are... Russell's early crimes as established by investigation and admissions. So police later determined that years before the murders, Russell Williams had been committing nighttime residual break-ins in communities around Ottawa, Gatineau, and Tweed, Ontario. So that is like such a huge contrast. You got so during the day, he's commanding people. He's being a military guy. He's upholding the law. He's actually like at the highest, one of the highest forms of the law. And at night, he's going and breaking into, like, committing petty theft.
It's literal night and day.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And these intrusions often occurred while occupants were asleep. A detail confirmed through victim reports and Williams' own admissions. So you're sleeping, and this guy was coming in. He was coming on in. He was helping himself to a sandwich or whatever he was doing. We're going to find out.
I think he helped himself to more than just a sandwich.
Yes, he did, yeah, as discussed earlier. During the break-ins, he entered private homes without consent. He targeted bedrooms. And as we just said, he did not steal sandwiches. He stole intimate personal items, primarily women's and girls' underwear. These acts were not random thefts. Investigators described them as sexually motivated crimes. Well, yeah, if you're stealing someone's underwear, it's hard to deny that that's not sexually motivated. You don't just like the fabric.
You know what's funny? Well, not funny, but my aunt and uncle, they live in the States. Well, Aunt Karen
don't listen to this podcast.
No. Well, Aunt Karen's dead now.
Oh, okay.
But
God rest her soul.
We're
not religious.
She was Canadian, married an American. He joined the military. So they traveled all over and lived on a lot of military bases. And one thing she would tell stories like crazy. And one of the stories she would say is that there was somebody on their military base. And when she would hang the laundry up outside, this guy would come and steal her underwear off the drying line outside. And this was, again,
on the military base. And it's like, well, somebody should report that. That's not normal behavior.
No.
And if you notice your son doing that, get him therapy.
Yes.
Get him therapy.
There, more men, more people in general, but especially men need to go to therapy.
Getting off our soapboxes, but don't worry, we'll get back on in a minute. Police also recovered photographs Williams took of himself wearing stolen clothing.
Gross.
And that's, it seems like, as well, an element of this. He just never explored his gender identity. And I feel like this is what happens when society doesn't let you, or you don't have the freedom to explore your gender identity.
Self-expression is self-exploration. And the military is really bad for that.
Really bad for that. And also, gender is not a binary, it's a spectrum. Mm. The indigenous people have known and been saying this since the beginning of time. So, anyway, I told you I would get back on the soapbox.
This entire podcast is a soapbox. Let's be real.
I'm just on it. Okay, these images later became key. And back to that. So not being able to explore your own sexual identity, that messes with your head. On all counts, any human, it messes with your head. Sorry, sex is very normal. It's a healthy part of life. We're monkeys. We like playing with each other's bodies. And we should, you know what I'm saying? And our own bodies. Mm-hmm. Okay. Should I stop talking now?
I mean, I don't mind.
Okay. So these did I read that? No. These images later became key evidence demonstrating the compulsive and repetitive nature of the behavior, as they should. And also, two things can be true. I can have empathy. You can have empathy for someone. I have empathy for the part of him that never got to explore his gender identity, and it came out in such like an awful, horrid way. Yeah. But yeah, two things can be true. I can think he's a shit ass person and also have empathy for him. Thank you.
There is a lot of evidence that supports certain traumas are connected to why certain individuals do these type of crimes.
Right? 100%. At the time these offenses were occurring, they were reported individually as isolated break-ins, rather than immediately recognized as part of a single offender's pattern. So the cops were like, whoa, there's a crazy amount of break-ins happening. I can't believe. All in the same sort of area. Once Williams was arrested in 2010 and evidence was consolidated, investigators were able to reconstruct a clear trajectory. There was geographic clustering. Police linked dozens of incidents across specific regions of eastern Ontario and western Quebec, including areas near his work postings, his community routes, and his personal travel patterns. This clustering was only fully visible after centralized review of reports and seized materials. So they were trying. They were trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. There was increasing boldness. So over time, the behavior escalated in frequency and confidence. So there were continued break-ins despite risk. repeated targeting of occupied homes. That's fucked. That fucks with you. And increased documentation of the crimes through photography. Investigators described this as an escalation in compulsive behavior consistent with patterns seen in serial sexual offenders. Yeah, I mean, he's clearly escalating.
Yeah.
Because he's not getting caught.
Yeah.
And he's still going to work during the day where he's king shit.
And a lot of, that is a pattern in a lot of serial crime cases. Like, if you look at Jack the Ripper from his first, well, we believe these are his victims.
Yeah.
There's 5 of them. The first one isn't that brutal. The second one, the last one, like, they had to piece together her face.
Yeah.
To identify her properly. There is a pattern of escalation.
And there's escalation toward direct violence, as you were saying. Mm-hmm. The progression did not remain limited to non-contact offenses. Police later confirmed that Williams committed sexual assaults in addition to the break-ins before ultimately escalating to lethal violence in late 2009. So for those of you wondering the sequence, it goes voyeuristic intrusion, sexualized theft, sexual assault, and then finally to homicide. And this was outlined by the prosecutors during sentencing and acknowledged by Williams through his guilty pleas.
Isn't that kind of like with serial killers as well?
Sorry.
Like serial killers as well, they start harming smaller creatures, like they'll hurt animals and then they escalate to bigger animals and then they'll...
If they start from,
I think even not just like child issues, but like as they... Even in adults, I think that's kind of how it starts.
Yeah,
like
they start small.
They need something bigger, something more to feed that appetite.
Yeah. Now, why does this matter? Each early offense violated personal safety, even when no physical contact occurred. You know, we all know how violating it would feel to have somebody, if somebody just moved something. Ugh, somebody comes in your house and steals a pair of your underwear. That's fucking violating. You're not sleeping the same after that in that house.
I had a super who would make comments about how he had keys and could let himself into my apartment to sniff my underwear all the time.
I would be like, stop saying that.
Oh, he ended up getting fired.
Oh, good.
And now the new super has taken over and he's fixing all the problems in my apartment that I didn't report to the other guy because I didn't want him around.
My goodness. Victims reported lasting fear, loss of security, and trauma tied to knowing their homes had been entered while they slept. The crimes illustrate how serial offending can develop incrementally, often hidden behind normalcy, professional status, and institutional trust. This is not about spectacle. It is about patterns that were visible only in hindsight, and the cost of those patterns being missed for years. Like his wife would have known he was going out every fucking night.
Right?
Where did she think he was going? Well, I guess to cheat on her. Well, I guess he was.
Technically, technically, yeah. He was.
He was cheating on her.
Fuck.
That's wild. She was like, you're cheating on me. He was like, I'm not. I'm just stealing girls' underwear.
Just breaking into people's homes while they're sleeping.
You don't even
rifling
know.
Through their underwears and taking pictures of myself wearing them.
The underwears.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
just come with me. She's like, no.
Just come with me.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. The murders. Marie Frances Como in 2009. She was a 24-year-old.
So young.
I know, right? And she served as a corporal in the Canadian Forces.
And you wonder why women don't sign up to be a part of the military or to work in men's fields.
Watch The General's Daughter.
You know, you wonder why women don't sign up to be construction workers or electricians or plumbers or male-dominated industries where it's a bunch of big men who are terrifying, who any day could just go, I'm taking you.
And then you're walking into strangers' homes. You don't know, like especially like a plumber or electrician, you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side of the door.
You do not.
I'm a professional photographer, and there are times where I will even leave like where I'm going and an address for John just in case something happens to me.
Right? You have to.
So he clearly knew this person because she was stationed at CFB Trenton. Which is where he was mostly working out of as well.
Which is like, I think CFB is just like another word for like a military base.
Yeah.
Canadian something.
Canadian Forces Base. Yeah.
Canadian Forces Base Trenton. Let's say it stands for. We didn't Google that. Hey, you can go to speakpipe.com/Canadian Creepies if you want to correct me.
She had relocated to the area for her military career, and she lived independently. So.
Good for her. A queen. Right? Just going off on her own. She's like, I'm 24. I'm a boss-ass bitch. I can do whatever I want. I can join the military. I can have my own place. I can buy myself flowers.
And you know what? It's women like that men consider a threat and attack.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Do it anyways, ladies.
Keep doing it. Don't die.
Reporting following her death and statements referenced during court proceedings describe her as outgoing, warm, and dedicated, with close ties to her family. She was seen as someone who took pride in her service and had plans for advancement within the forces. She was killed in late November of 2009 in her home.
In her home.
The one place she's supposed to feel safest.
Yeah.
At the time, her death was not immediately linked to the broader pattern. That connection only emerged after Russell Williams was arrested in February of 2010.
Okay.
It is important to emphasize that she was targeted. She was not responsible for what was done to her.
Somebody entered her home and attacked her.
I don't care if she smiled at him, if she didn't smile at him, if she was wearing sweatpants, if she was wearing short shorts with her bum cheeks hanging out of them.
I don't care if she flipped him off and told him to go fuck himself.
I don't care if she flirted with him at one point.
I don't care if she made out with him and then said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
Changed my mind.
But actually she didn't do that because Colonel Russell Williams was already married and probably way older than her.
Gross. All of that.
All of it.
Her military service and personal life did not place her at fault. The violence was deliberately acted by the offender.
Yes.
Williams later pled guilty to her murder. Her killing was acknowledged in court as part of a broader escalation of sexual violence.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Lloyd, in 2010. She was 27 years old.
Oh, just a baby.
Right? Like your entire lives ahead of you. Just doing your own thing.
You're figuring it out. Your frontal lobe is fully developed. After years of waiting for it to be.
Making mistakes. You finally know what you want in life. You're ready to go for it.
You break up with the bad boyfriend. You're ready to find the man of your dreams or woman of your dreams or they of your dreams.
Whoever of your dreams.
Whoever of your dreams. As long as they're consenting and an adult.
Adult is a big one. Consent is a big one, but I feel in this day and age.
If you are an adult, it would be great if your partner was also an adult.
And by adult, we don't mean just 18 and you're 50.
No, they're still a child at 18. Thank you.
And your brain should be developed enough and your life should be in a completely different place at the age of 50 that you don't relate enough to an 18-year-old.
An 18-year-old should make you go, that's weird.
I was annoying at 18. I know I was annoying at 18.
18-year-old children should annoy you, not turn you on.
Yes.
Thank you.
She lived in rural areas.
Annoy you with love. God.
She lived in a rural area near Tweed, Ontario, and she was known in her community and closely connected to her family. Public statements and media interviews described her as kind, trusting, and deeply loved. Her family emphasized her strong sense of connection to home and routine, noting that her disappearance was immediately alarming because it was so unlike her.
Yeah. It'd be like if one of us disappeared. Where'd they go?
Right?
Why?
If I didn't hear from you in a single day, I'd be banging on the door like, Kyle, what did you do to her?
Yeah, that's right.
And Kyle would be like, she's just sick and not feeling it, so she's in bed.
He's like, are you okay? Can I help you?
I'd be like, do you know our podcast? Do you know the stories we look at? Just concerned. She disappeared January 28th in 2010 while walking near her home. Her absence was quickly noticed and prompted an extensive search involving police, volunteers, and the wider community.
God, that search must have been tragic.
Like your heart
in your stomach. They know. The parents always know.
Yeah. What was I watching recently? And it was like the Nicholas Barclay imposter documentary. And they're like, at some point, he's dead, but like you don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
Like you're still searching and you don't want to acknowledge that what you're really searching for is just to find out what happened to them.
Yeah.
That's a great documentary. It's crazy. It ends crazy.
You. Yeah, you. Still haunting the same old fast fashion? Time to dig up something better with Back from the Dead Goods, a Canadian small business where forgotten threads get a second life and sustainability meets spooky. This isn't just upcycled clothing. It's resurrected fashion with an eerie edge. Handpicked, reworked, and revived, every piece is as unique as a ghost story whispered at midnight. And because you're a part of the Canadian Creepies family, you get an exclusive deal. Use code Canadian Creepies at checkout for 10% off. Find them lurking on Instagram, Etsy, and Poshmark. Links are in the episode description. Give your wardrobe a second chance at life, if you dare. Hey creeps, it's Valerie here, and if you're anything like us, you love capturing a moment, whether it's spooky, sweet, or somewhere delightfully in between. Let me introduce you to our go-to for stunning shots, darkroom photography, based right here in the heart of the Niagara region. Mel, the brilliant eye behind the lens, is a lifestyle and creative photographer who brings a little bit of magic and maybe a touch of mystery to every session. She's got all her prices listed right on her website, super transparent, no tricks, and she runs killer seasonal specials around Mother's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and more. I'm telling you, her Halloween sessions, creepy perfection. So, if you're in the Niagara area and looking to capture memories that are hauntingly beautiful, hit up Mel at mel@darkroomphotography.ca or check out her work at www.darkroomphotography.ca. That's Darkroom Photography, where your memories come to life, even in the dark. Support reproductive justice in Niagara. Niagara Reproductive Justice is a grassroots collective based in the Niagara region of Ontario, working to increase visibility and access to sexual and reproductive health care. They support people seeking abortion and other essential care by offering transportation, financial assistance, logistical help, and emotional support. Here's how you can help. You can make a one-time donation. Send an e-transfer to niagarareproductivejustice@gmail.com. Your support helps cover costs like gas for volunteer drivers, overnight stays, childcare, and other urgent needs. You can also support monthly via Patreon. Join their Patreon and support the cause month to month. It's patreon.com/Niagara Reproductive Justice. And you can volunteer your time. NRJ is always looking for volunteers to help with driving, outreach, admin support, and community organizing. If you're looking to make a real impact in the Niagara region, this is a great place to start. Contact them via email or DM them on Instagram or Facebook to learn more. You can find them on Instagram at Niagara Reproductive Justice and on Facebook at Niagara Reproductive Justice. Help amplify access to reproductive care right here in our own backyard. Whether you donate, volunteer, or spread the word, you're a part of the movement. Looking for your next obsession? The Creators Collective Podcasts is your gateway to the dark, the chilling, and the downright fascinating. We're a community of independent podcasts with one goal: to share the best in true crime, paranormal tales, folklore, and unexplained mysteries. Whether you crave cold cases that won't stay closed, haunted histories that refuse to be forgotten, or stories that make you sleep with the lights on, there's a show waiting for you in the collective. And when you join us, you're not just listening to one podcast. You're stepping into a world of creators who love this stuff as much as you do. Check out the Creators Collective today. Follow the link in our show notes to discover your next favorite podcast. We'll be waiting for you.
Why her case became pivotal. Investigators documented distinctive tire tracks where she vanished. A systematic vehicle canvass followed this. Russell Williams was questioned on February 7th of 2010 and confronted with forensic evidence.
Wow.
He confessed to her murder and to the killing of Marie Frances Como. Her disappearance and the urgency with which it was treated became a turning point that exposed the full scope of Williams' crimes. Williams pled guilty and led police to her remains. These murders were not isolated acts of sudden violence. They were an outcome of long documented trajectory that included repeated home invasions, sexualized thefts, sexual assault, and escalation towards lethal harm. Recognizing who Marie Frances Como and Jessica Lloyd were as people with families, relationships, and futures is important. Their lives are not context for a criminal narrative. They are the center reality of this case.
Yes.
I think, aside from the murders, I think there was one woman he beat with a flashlight as well. I think she survived.
Oh my God.
Like, she was quite injured.
Yeah.
But I think she came home when he was like in her home and attacked her. I may be wrong about that. I'm trying. It was a long time when I read the book, like maybe 10 years ago. So, what is it? SpeakPipe?
What?
Go to SpeakPipe? Is it?
Yeah. Go to speakpipe.com/Canadian Creepies.
And tell us if I'm correct.
Yeah. Okay, the investigation. The breakthrough evidence was tire track analysis. So after Jessica Lloyd was reported missing on January 28th, 2010, Ontario Provincial Police investigators documented distinctive tire impressions near the area where she was last seen. Forensic analysts identified unique tread characteristics, allowing investigators to narrow the pool of vehicles that could have made the tracks. This physical evidence became the foundation for the next phase of the investigation. It's crazy that tire tracks.
Yeah.
Something that simple. It's like, check the fucking pond, you know? The tire.
Check the fucking pond.
Surveillance and narrowing of suspects. Police conducted a systematic vehicle canvass, checking vehicles that matched the tire characteristics in the surrounding communities. They went hectic with this. They were like very determined. We've never had a case where they've been this determined.
So far, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It took them how long to check the fucking pond in the
behind
back?
Justin Evans's house? Like, Russell Williams' vehicle was among those identified as a potential match. But this is how they also did it with the Paul Bernardo case. But the victim, but the witness got the car wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Investigators did not rely on, sorry, I shouldn't say the Paul Bernardo case. I should say when Kristen French was kidnapped by the monsters, Carl Homolka and Paul Bernardo. Thank you. Investigators did not rely on reputation, rank, or assumptions. The inquiry proceeded based on forensic consistency and elimination, not intuition. So that must have been hard for like the OPP conducting that investigation, realizing they have this high-ranking military officer as like the number one. And I don't often have empathy for the OPP, but that must have been
a gut punch
and scary. They were like, "Can I?"
he's one of us.
One of us.
And I want to. Speaking of one of us, men. If you don't, it is what it. It's not all of you, but it's always a man. And it's probably one that you know, men. It's probably one of your friends.
Yeah, just call him out.
So,
like, if he says something weird and creepy, just say, that's fucking weird and creepy.
Or if somebody says, hey, your buddy did X, Y, Z to me, believe them. Because chances are he probably did.
Genuinely. Yeah, genuinely. How Williams was taken into custody was on February 7th, 2010. He was asked to attend an OPP detachment for questioning. During the interview, investigators presented him with incremental physical evidence, including the tire track linkage. He confessed during questioning to the murders of Jessica Lloyd and Marie Frances Como, as well as numerous sexual offenses and break-ins. He was arrested that day and formally charged shortly afterward.
I love how he was just like, yep.
Yeah, I did it. He's like, breaks down. He's like, oh, it was me.
I don't know if he broke down. I don't think he would be that heartbroken about it. I think he would just be like, yep.
Yep, it was me.
They're very detached.
True, yeah. At the time of his arrest, Williams was the wing commander of CFB Trenton, 8 Wing. One of the most senior command positions in the Royal Canadian Air Force. Brutal. Following his arrest, the Department of National Defense removed him from command, and military leadership issued public statements acknowledging the seriousness of the charges and the breach of trust involved.
I bet they were panicking.
Panicking, absolutely. It's like people are panicking now because so many white supremacists have made their way into the Canadian military.
Yeah.
You know, we're sort of like, how do we, because we're not the state, so we don't hire them to be ICE agents. We're actually trying to work out how to get them out of there and force them into training. The case triggered widespread scrutiny of institutional assumptions tied to rank and respectability, though the criminal investigation itself remained under civilian police jurisdiction. This interrogation is widely studied, not because of theatrics, but because it demonstrates structured, evidence-based interviewing. So no scare tactics, none of that fucking bullshit where you're intimidating a fucking child to...
Good guy, bad guy.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop bullshit. No. Investigators avoided coercion or dramatization. Instead, they presented evidence gradually, maintained a calm, controlled tone, and allowed inconsistencies to surface naturally. Williams ultimately provided a full confession, including information that led to recover evidence and locate remains. Why is it studied? Wait, I want to read that again. I was just like disassociated in my head reading that. Williams ultimately provided a full confession, including information that led police to recover evidence. Wow. It illustrates how methodical police work, grounded in physical evidence, can overcome social power and authority. You hear that, police officers listening to this? Just do grounded police work. Look for actual evidence.
Do your job.
Don't assume things. When a woman tells you she's been sexually assaulted, don't say, no, you haven't, or pretend to believe her. And then
Or blame her.
And don't put her into the unfounded rate. Thank you very much. You don't know what the unfounded rate is, listeners? Please Google it. The Canadian unfounded rate. McLean's did a big article on it. Thank you.
Actually, I just watched a movie that was based on a true story about it was in the States, but it was an indigenous community. And there are, with all other ethnicities, statistics on how many women from each of those races and nationalities disappear, except for indigenous. They get just clumped in with the rest of us.
That's fucked. This interrogation also showed that effective interrogation does not require aggression or spectacle, and it underscores the importance of preparation, corroboration, and restraint. However, the confession did not undo the harm, restore the lives lost, or erase the trauma experienced by victims and communities. The least he could have done was actually confess. Like, that was like the bottom of the barrel least he could have done. A confession is an evidentiary outcome, not a moral resolution. Accountability comes through investigation, charges, conviction, and acknowledgement of harm, not through words spoken in an interview room. Thank you.
So, the trial and the sentencing. After his arrest in February of 2010, Russell Williams was charged under the Criminal Code of Canada with a wide range of offenses, reflecting the full scope of the investigation. The charges included 2 accounts of first-degree murder, sexual assault, forcible confinement, breaking and entering, theft, including the theft of intimate personal items.
Jesus. Fuck's sake.
Like, what else do you want to add there? Armed robbery, conspiracy, fuck.
What a fucking loser. You're a loser, Russell Williams. You're a real slime on my shoe.
Yeah. The breadth of the charges mirrored what investigators established as a multi-year pattern of escalating criminal behaviors. In October 18th of 2010, Williams entered a guilty plea to all charges before the Ontario Supreme Court of Justice.
Ontario Superior.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I think because I'm confusing it with the states. I think they call it Supreme Court?
Supreme Court of Justice, yes. Yeah. Which to me, supreme is such a funny word to be used legally.
Just because something is legal does not mean that it is moral, and because something is illegal does not mean that it is immoral.
That's right.
Jewish people were illegal at one time. Slavery was legal at one time.
Redheads. Of which I am one.
This is true.
I'm a bloodline witch, maybe. Maybe I'm not. Just kidding.
You have a weird freckle?
I have a weird freckle.
Witch. But I like witches. So
My mom
okay.
is a redheaded left-handed woman.
Oh,
yeah.
Double whammy.
Yeah, I was like, you were getting burned.
Yeah, torched at the stake. Those poor women.
I hate it.
This guilty plea meant that there was no trial and no jury proceedings.
Well, I mean, okay.
I mean, you wouldn't have to go through...
Yeah, if he's like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, you don't have to prove he's guilty if he's saying...
You don't need a jury for that. Mm-hmm.
The court accepted the agreed statement of facts, sparing victims' families from having to endure testimonies and cross-examinations.
Well, we like this.
Yes, less trauma for them. You're not forcing them to relive everything.
Fantastic.
The healing process can begin.
You know what? We love that. Maybe that's where his military sort of morality started hitting him. He was like...
I don't think morality is
okay.
a thing. I like that you're trying to,
I know.
See the good in everyone.
See the good in everyone.
The plea formally established responsibility in law, but it did not function as mitigation. The court emphasized that the guilty plea does not erase harm. It serves the legal process by acknowledging facts already supported by the overwhelming evidence. On October 21st of 2010, Williams was sentenced to 2 concurrent life sentences for first-degree murder. Parole ineligibility set at 25 years.
You'll never get parole, butthole.
The mandatory minimum under the Canadian law for first-degree murder. The sentencing judge underscored the severity and deliberateness.
Deliberateness. Deliberateness.
Me and big words, no good do. Of the crime. The extended pattern of sexual violence preceding the murders, and the abuse of trust and authority inherited the case. Yeah, a lot of abuse of authority and power.
I would say. And using skills you learned in the military to then break into civilians' homes.
I'm pretty sure he
probably using fight tactics too, like holding tactics.
He did use duct tape to secure them basically while he did whatever the fuck it was that he did to them.
I hate that.
So I do know that he did tie them up, and you are taught how to restrain people.
You are taught how to restrain people.
Yeah. Williams was also sentenced on an additional sexual offense and break-in convictions to be served concurrently with the life sentences.
Because is that how we do it? Oh, no, we just have a life sentence. We're not like the States where we go, you're serving 267 years in jail. You're just in there for life, no parole.
The Canadian Armed Forces, here's how they responded. At the time of the sentencing, William had already been dismissed from command and stripped of authority.
Good.
The Canadian Armed Forces publicly acknowledged the gravity of the crimes and the profound breach of trust that was involved.
We like that.
Senior leadership emphasized that his actions were in direct violation of military values and responsibilities.
I would hope that's what he would say.
This is the type of response we would like to see from institutions that have any association with public harm. Churches, I'm looking at you, and the residential schools.
Yes. Yeah, what she said.
The case prompted internal reflection within the CAF regarding the limits of reputation and rank as indicators of character.
Ugh, shouldn't be.
Yeah. Just because you're a cop does not mean...
You're a good person.
Yeah. Just because you are a priest does not make you a good person.
That's right.
Just because you volunteer at a suicide prevention hotline does not make you a good person.
Just because you were voted in doesn't make you a good politician.
Oh!
Hey-oh.
For the people in the back.
I'm looking at you.
That was a good one. I like that.
Thank you. There was this woman at work the other day, and she was like liberal, and I'm more leftist than that, obviously. And she was naming a local politician, and she was like, "Well, he's been voted in, blah blah. I mean, doesn't make him a good politician." And she went,
"It just means he's popular."
Yeah, and she went, "Well, he's always responding to things on and I was like, "Doesn't make him a good politician."
Responding on Facebook does not equal.
I know. I think I was
action.
just making that up, but she was saying stuff like that.
That does sound like somebody who is
just like
completely devoted. It's almost like a cult.
It is, yeah. That's why I don't like. I do love Wob Canoe.
I'm just like,
I love jag meat, though.
Whoever,
I love jag meat.
I'm kind of like, whoever is going to do the least amount of harm to my rights and the rights of the people I care about.
Yes.
It also pinpointed the reflections of the necessity of vigilance, even within highly structured institutions. The public reckoning. The sentencing marked a broader moment of reckoning beyond the courtroom. A senior military leader,
I hate it. A senior military leader. I hate it.
Who was entrusted with command, discipline, and the care of others, had used that position as camouflage, not constraint.
Hold on. Ah! Okay. Okay.
In case you weren't aware of how we feel about this situation.
Okay, continue.
Public discussion focused on how authority can shield misconduct, as we see in a lot of...
Let's think of some other real world examples where authority is shielding a misconduct. Anyone?
Release the unredacted Epstein list. Like, shit.
Everything's bad.
The world is on fire. It's fine.
Thank you for listening to us in your time of tragedy.
And it also forced discussions on how systems built on trust must still account for accountability and oversight. The legal process concluded with a clear outcome.
Yes, it did.
Responsibility was formally assigned. The punishment was imposed under the law. And a record established that power and status does not place someone beyond consequence. Like the fucking ICE agents. You are not above the law.
You're not. Oh, according to J.D. Vance, they have absolute immunity. We'll get into it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I've left space for that.
Breathe. Legal closure does not mean emotional closure. But sentencing drew a firm boundary between institutional authority and personal criminal responsibility. That's where I'm going to leave you with that part.
Okay.
That was heavy.
Yeah. Let's honor the victims.
I dig it. Let's do that.
Because that's what we do here. We talk about the creeps, but it's not about them. The creeps are only footnotes in the stories of the victims and survivors of these crimes.
The focus is on change and people and
community.
Coming together and building better infrastructures for
everyone. Not just a select few.
If they look like you, great. If they don't look like you, they also matter.
They do also matter. That's crazy.
You know,
they do
who
also
would
matter.
have thought?
Yeah. So let's talk about Marie France Como again. She was a 24-year-old corporal in the Canadian Forces, stationed at CFB Trenton. She had moved for her career, lived independently, and was described in public reporting as warm, outgoing, and committed to her work. Her life was taken through a deliberate act of violence. Nothing about her choices, her service, or her circumstances made her responsible for what happened to her. Jessica Lloyd was 27 years old, living near Tweed, Ontario, and deeply connected to her family and community. Public statements from her loved ones described her as kind, trusting, and reliable. Someone whose sudden absence immediately raised alarms because it was so unlike her. Her disappearance mobilized an entire community. The urgency with which she was searched for reflected how loved and valued she was. Beyond the two women whose lives were taken, there are numerous survivors whose names are not widely known, and I wouldn't...
Excuse me.
I want to say bless you, because that's like the response, but like David Bowie, bless you.
I love that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for years.
That to me one time.
David Bowie, bless you, yeah. And R.I.P. David Bowie.
It's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years. I'm still sad about it. Okay, so yeah, and I wouldn't say the survivors' names anyway. Women,
they deserve some peace.
Yes.
Unless they're coming forward like our last story.
Yeah, like Melissa McCormick, yeah.
Yeah. Where she's published a book and she is advocating. Some women just want to... everybody heals differently.
Yes.
And if that's what they need is their privacy to keep their peace and
what
sanity, we will respect that.
Totally. So women whose homes were entered while they slept, survivors of sexual assault, and people who returned home to find intimate boundaries violated. Because even if nothing happened to a person's body, the act of entering into someone's home and safe space, yes, I'm a snowflake, proud of it.
Snowflakes are pretty, though.
They're pretty, they're individual, they're unique, they're delicate, they're soft, they're wonderful. And they're cold.
I don't think you're cold.
No, I'm a cold-hearted bitch. Okay. Yeah, so those people, though, they're still victims of crimes as well. And that, yeah. Court records and reporting confirm that these survivors live with long-term effects, fear, hypervigilance, disrupted sleep, and loss of safety in their own homes. Many are unnamed in public narratives, but their harm is no less real. From victims and survivors alike, the crimes took more than objects or moments. It took safety, the ability to feel secure in one's home, trust in surroundings, institutions, and assumptions about who is safe. And it took away peace of mind, the basic certainty that one can sleep without fear. Because for the rest of your life, you would be sleeping with one eye open.
Yeah.
These losses did not end with arrest or sentencing.
Think about it this way, guys. If you come home and you have leftovers in your fridge and someone has eaten those leftovers, how upset would you be by that?
Yeah.
Like, and that's just like you're hopefully you don't suffer from food insecurity, but that's something you were looking forward to. That is something in your private fridge that you paid for. It was something that gave you pleasure. And now someone has come into your space and taken that. Now put that into a context of your sexual boundaries within your home.
Ugh, it's just it's so violating and wrong and bad.
It's creepy.
So what remains? Families and friends carrying grief that does not resolve with a verdict. Communities marked by shock and loss. And survivors whose lives were permanently altered, often without public recognition. Accountability through the justice system matters, but it does not restore what was taken. Mm-mm. These women, as I said earlier, these women are not footnotes in a man's story. He is a footnote in theirs. Their lives, not his crimes, are the measure of what matters.
His ass is behind bars. They're out here still living their lives.
Yeah.
So how does authority shield predators? These cases document how formal authority and social credibility can function as camouflage. Russell Williams occupied a position associated with discipline, trust, and responsibility. His rank and professional reputation aligned with cultural assumptions about who is safe. Those assumptions did not cause the crimes, but they did reduce suspicion. They delayed scrutiny and they allowed the offending to continue undetected for years. Nothing in the record suggests the institutions knowingly protecting this criminal behavior. What the record does show is that power can reduce the visibility, even when the warning signs exist elsewhere. The progression of this case reflects a documented pattern of serial sexual offending. Early crimes were fragmented across jurisdictions. Incidents appeared isolated rather than connected, and non-lethal offenses were treated as less urgent or unrelated.
Ugh.
They're always treated as less urgent.
I know, I hate it.
The escalation was only visible in hindsight. After the evidence was consolidated. This is not a failure of a single officer or report.
You might want to clip that and put that on repeat because we don't say that here often.
Yeah. Usually it's us being like, how stupid. Check the fucking pond. I'll say it again. This was not a failure of a single officer or report.
Put it on record, folks.
But a systemic limitation when a date is siloed, when patterns span regions, and early harm is minimized because it doesn't fit expectations of a serious crime. Little things add up, you know.
They do.
The lesson is not that escalation is invisible. It is that it is often not recognized as culminative until severe harm occurs.
Yeah.
This case contradicts common myths about violent offenders.
It does.
Violence did not come from someone visibly unstable or socially isolated.
Military man.
Who had a wife.
Yeah.
And
it's described as normal.
Worked up,
in one of the highest ranking positions in the Royal Canadian Air Force.
Yeah. It did not announce itself through obvious red flags in public life. They thought he was normal, just a regular Joe living next door.
Yeah.
It coexisted with routine, professionalism, and institutional success. Believing violence must look a certain way creates blind spots. Harm is more likely to continue when people expect it to be obvious. So when you say women are paranoid, we're not.
We're not.
We're not.
We're not fucking paranoid. Just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean it's not real. That's a great one. And, I love how we're talking. So it's funny that Amanda and I use these microphones and imagine us talking to a room full of men. when really I know on the other end of these speakers,
it's
I got a bunch
women.
Yeah, girlies, gays, and theys. We know our audience.
Yeah. But those are the people who believe in what we're saying.
Yes. And will spread it out to the men in their lives.
Yeah.
We're proud of you, girls, gays, and theys.
We love you.
We love you.
Canadian places.
And the men that listen, we love you. Thank you so much.
Because you do
Genuinely,
relate to what we're saying.
And we don't want to leave you out. And we love you. Just the same as everyone.
Like we said.
Even if you're not gay, we love you if you're straight as well.
It's not all men. But,
but
there's room for
usually is a man.
All right. Trust and institution. Canada places high cultural value on institutional trust, particularly the military, law enforcement, and public service leadership. That trust is not misplaced, but it is not a safeguard against abuse. This case prompted public reform on how trust must be paired with accountability, independent oversight, and a willingness to question assumptions tied to rank or respectability.
Yeah.
With military policing and accountability, the crime investigation was conducted by civilian police, independent of military command.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness it was civilian police.
The military does have a habit of
and again, you don't hear me saying that.
The military does kind of, I don't want to use the word protect, maybe hide.
No, it protects its own.
That's
100%. We know that.
What goes on behind their closed doors from the public. Mm-hmm. And that mistrust goes back to like fucking Roswell.
Yes.
Like the Cold War,
yes.
Like, all of that stuff. There's evidence to support that. The evidence emerged. Once evidence emerged, rank did not prevent arrest, charging, or conviction. Very important. Mm-hmm. The Canadian Armed Forces publicly acknowledged the breach of trust and affirmed that Williams's actions were incompatible with the military values.
Yes.
This case reinforces a critical principle. Institutions do not earn trust by being unquestioned. They earn it by responding decisively when that trust is violated.
That's right.
This case still matters because it asks enduring questions. Who do we instinctively trust and why? How do systems respond to early harm, especially when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable? The fucking residential schools.
Fuck. All roads lead back to residential schools.
Can we give them some clean drinking water?
It's not that hard.
It's 2026. We have the technology.
If every city in the Niagara region can get new condos built, we can get goddamn clean drinking water to Ottawa-Piscataway.
Right? I don't understand.
It's fucked up.
It's turning a blind eye. It's ignorance.
Yeah.
And it also questions how many warning signs are missed when violence doesn't match our expectations. These answers are not theoretical. They shape whether harm is interpreted or allowed to escalate.
Interrupted.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a very different sentence.
Just skipping ahead, reading my own ideas.
It's good. It's good. Okay. I'll do the closing. I'll do this one, and then I'll do the current case.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You are more familiar with the closing case than
Yes,
I am. I like to be surprised.
Yes, you do.
By either
You do.
the current case or the creep of the week.
Yes, and you're going to like this one. This episode was never about elevating an offender or dissecting his psychology. It has been about centering the people who were harmed and about naming the systems and assumptions that allowed that harm to continue. Mary, France, Como, and Jessica Lloyd were not symbols or lessons. They were people with families, routines, futures, and communities that still live with what was taken. So are the survivors whose names are rarely spoken, but whose lives were altered just as permanently. This story should be uncomfortable. It should be. Sorry, this story is uncomfortable, and it should be. Discomfort is not a failure of storytelling. It is a signal that we are paying attention. The unease comes from recognizing how ordinary harm can hide behind authority, how silence can feel easier than questioning power, and how escalation is often ignored when it does not match our expectations of danger. And don't give people... Anyway, I can't... It's okay. If this case... I'll leave that thought. If this case leaves us with anything, it should be a responsibility to question credibility when it is used as a shield, to take early harm seriously, even when it feels inconvenient, and to resist the idea that violence always announces itself. Not every failure in this story was criminal. Many were cultural, shaped by trust, deference, and the belief that someone who looks responsible must be harmless. The most frightening thing about this case isn't who he was, it's how long no one questioned it. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into the current case.
I'm ready. I was born ready.
Yeah. Okay, current case. Who was she? Who was Renee Nicole Good? She was a 37-year-old American mother of three, a writer, a poet, and wife who had recently moved with her family to Minneapolis, Minnesota. She was described by loved ones as kind-hearted, community-oriented, and deeply dedicated to her family. On the morning of January 7th, 2026.
Oh, real recent.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know that? Oh, yeah. Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent, during a federal enforcement operation in South Minneapolis. She was in her SUV on Portland Avenue when the encounter occurred. I've seen the video.
I had this conversation with my mom today.
Yeah.
Because she was like, you're very level-headed. I think she thought I was going to agree with her about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've seen the video. She is not looking at the ICE officer.
She's like, you're good, dude. It's fine.
Her hands are on the steering wheel. She isn't
That guy
threatening.
slipped on ice walking backwards.
And my mom was like, there are 6 videos and I've seen all of them.
There are way more than 6 videos. There are way more than 6 videos.
Yeah. And she's like, she dragged one of those guys.
No, she didn't. No, she absolutely did not. He got mad because his partner said, go for lunch, big boy. And I don't fucking blame her for saying that, because guess what? If ICE agents roll up on my street, that is me. I'm doing the exact same thing.
Think about it this way. There was a video I saw of a guy he was a police officer, and there was this guy he was trying to, get the facts with this guy. He was not okay. They were investigating him for some reason, and the guy charged at him with a weapon, and the officer shot him. Mm-hmm. And he collapsed to the ground and was like, why'd you make me do that to you? Yeah. Why'd you make me do... Like, he was distraught that he had to put this guy down.
Like, also could have shot at a foot or a leg. Like, why didn't that ICE agent shoot out the tires of the fucking car?
Right?
If you were that concerned, shoot out the tires of the car. You don't have to shoot someone 3 times point blank in the face.
If for self-defense reasons or whatever, you do take someone's life, that should be the response. There should be immediate
remorse. You shouldn't be calling her a fucking bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
These are the people. Is that the type of person you want in charge?
No.
Who looks at your life like it's
But
nothing?
I feel like we got to rein it in for a sec, because we didn't even get through the full story. We started ranting. That's okay.
I'm
gotta reel it
immediately
back
mad
in.
about this case.
I know. We got to reel it back in. So footage released video footage release captures the moments leading up to the shooting. In one widely shared clip, Good can be heard saying, "I'm not mad at you," shortly before the agent fired into her vehicle as she was moving away from officers. She was moving away from officers, fired into the vehicle. That probably made her go forward. Federal authorities have stated the agent fired in self-defense, claiming Good's vehicle was a threat. Local leaders and eyewitnesses strongly dispute that narrative, asserting she posed no imminent danger and was attempting to leave the scene. The ICE agent identified in media reports as Jonathan Ross, a veteran law enforcement officer who wasn't trained to use pepper bullets, who wasn't trained to use a taser, who wasn't trained to use any sort of non-violent or non-lethal.
Long in your career.
And you're shooting someone point blank in the face 3 times and calling her a fucking bitch as her corpse drives away. Anyway, on Jonathan Ross. He's a veteran law enforcement officer with nearly 2 decades of service in immigration and border roles. Federal officials, including Homeland Security, Kirsty I don't even give a fuck about her, and
she looks like she has pinch face.
She does have
all
pinch.
the time.
I don't even know what she looks like because I won't even give her that attention.
I only saw it because it came up in a video earlier where they were kind of mocking all of the people. Good. I was like, oh, that's what she looks like.
So including Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and the Trump administration have defended Ross's actions as justified under the circumstances. Minnesota officials, however, criticized the investigation, arguing that voice and body camera footage do not corroborate federal claims, that state investigators have been excluded from reviewing evidence, and calling Good a domestic terrorist was inappropriate and politically charged. Well, yeah, it was. Good's killing has ignited widespread protests across the United States. Demonstrations have taken place in cities from Minneapolis to New York, with many chanting "ICE out for Good" and demanding accountability and structural reform in federal immigration enforcement. A recent poll shows the incident has shifted public opinion, with ICE's approval rating dropping. I would hope so, Americans.
They shouldn't have had a high approval rating to begin with.
No, they shouldn't. And a significant rise in calls, especially among Democrats, for abolition or reform of the agency. We don't have that, do we? Oh, yeah, we do. We probably have Border Enforcement Agency.
We do have border enforcement, but not like this.
Yeah. At high-profile cultural events like the Golden Globe Awards, which were yesterday, celebrities wore protest pins in her memory, illustrating how the case has seeped into broader
Mark
public...
Ruffalo.
Yes, good man. Love him. The FBI is leading the federal investigation, but Minnesota authorities and civil rights groups have publicly expressed concern about limited access to evidence and fairness of the inquiry. Local leaders are calling for state participation to ensure transparency. And legal analysis note that accountability for federal law enforcement officers, especially under doctrines like qualified or absolute immunity, like J.D. Vance said, can be
bullshit.
Highly difficult even when the use of lethal force appears questionable. Public debate continues over what the facts actually show and whether the narrative presented by federal authorities matches video and eyewitness accounts.
You know who also gave absolute authority to kill people who they didn't agree with?
Let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Hitler! Thank you. Family statements and community vigils have emphasized Renee Good's humanity and devotion to her children, painting a stark contrast with political rhetoric that has portrayed her as a threat. Her death has become a rallying point in the national conversation about police violence, immigration enforcement tactics, and civil liberties. This case is more than an isolated incident. It reflects deepening national divides over immigration, federal power, law enforcement oversight, and how violence enacted by the state is remembered and judged by the public courts and history. And just to end on sort of like a happier note, and why I picked this case, it wasn't just because it's relevant, but it was because it happened in Minnesota. And Canadians and Minnesotans often joke that they're basically cousins. And honestly, there's a lot of truth to that. So here are some of the biggest shared traits and cultural overlaps between the people in Minnesota and Canada.
Hooray and huzzah.
Okay. So we both have a deep, practical relationship with winter. Both Minnesotans and Canadians don't just endure winter, they organize life around it. Snow tires, block heaters, and weather apps are second nature. Cold is discussed casually. It's not that cold today. And winter activities are embraced. Skating, hockey, ice fishing, and snowshoeing. And protesting, might I add. I saw those Minnesotans walking over frozen lakes to get to protests.
And then there was the, was it the mayor?
Yeah.
Who was like, get the fuck
out of my
And everyone
city.
was like, do you regret your statement? He's like, no, I stand by it.
Yeah. If the president of the United States can send ICE agents in to execute people on the street, the mayor can say, get the fuck out of my city. Sorry, I don't.
If your president can be a 34-time convicted felon.
What the fuck?
So you can't argue that what ICE is doing is because people are breaking the law. When your president is a 34-time convicted felon. It's nothing to do with the law.
Yeah. Back to Minnesotans and Canadians. There's a shared pride. Yeah. There's a shared pride in being able to function normally at temperatures that horrify everyone else. We are nice, but not fake nice. Both cultures are known for politeness, but it's a quiet, restrained nice. Saying sorry reflexively. Oh my God.
Yep.
Holding doors without making it weird, and helping strangers dig out cars or push through snowbanks. It's less about cheerfulness and more about mutual social survival.
I've had neighbors dig me out of the snow.
More times than I can count. Mm-hmm. Nature isn't a hobby, it's a baseline. Okay? Lakes, forests, cabins, cottage, and long drives, normal.
I love
Very
me a long
normal to
drive.
us. Love a long drive.
Through the countryside.
Beautiful.
Especially during fall with all the color changes.
Come on, tell me a better
Chef's
time.
kiss.
Outdoor time is restorative, not performative. And there's a shared reverence for quiet spaces and seasonal change. Whether it's going up north or heading to the cottage, the instinct is the same. Hockey is a cultural language. Remember, everyone, I am a Jets fan. I have abandoned the Leafs. I'm moving on to the Jets now. Hockey isn't just a sport in either place. It's a social shorthand. Community arenas, kids playing before school, casual fluency in rules, rivalries and stats. Even non-fans usually understand hockey enough to talk about it.
I mean, how many people did you know growing up whose parents made ice rinks in the backyard during wintertime?
So many. Dry humor and understatement. Both Canadians and Minnesotans favor deadpan delivery, self-deprecation, and downplaying accomplishments. Big emotions and loud confidence tend to be viewed with suspicion. Being too much is worse than being quiet. Comfort food and cultures. Cold climates shape food habits. Hearty, filling meals, casseroles and hot dishes, soups, stews, and baked comfort foods. Food is often practical, nostalgic, and tied to family rather than trendiness. We have a strong sense of community responsibility. There's a shared belief that you show up when people need help. Community matters more than individual ego, and public spaces should be cared for. This shows up in volunteerism, mutual aid, and how tragedies are collectively mourned. And lastly, accent overlap and speech pattern. Similar vowel sounds, softened consonants, and phrases like yeah, no, and no, yeah. That somehow makes sense.
It does, though. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Minnesota accents are often mistaken for Canadian and vice versa. Why does this similarity matter? When events happen in Minnesota that resonate deeply with Canadians, it's not surprising. The shared values, community, humility, care, and quiet resilience create emotional overlap that crosses the border easily.
I think living in a border town, we feel that even more.
Yeah, we're so close to the States. You can see, we wave. Hey!
Yeah, I can literally walk outside your front door right now and be like, oh, there's the States.
Yeah.
Like, that's how close we are.
Well, this has been Canadian Creepies.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Follow Down the Crooked Path on Instagram.
On TikTok.
And on TikTok. Yeah. And everywhere you find it. Follow Canadian Creepies on Instagram. Follow Radio Valerie on Instagram. That's me. Radio Valerie. Even though I'm a podcaster. It's funny. Podcaster Valerie just didn't have the same ring to it.
No, I like Radio Valerie.
Thank you. You can also go to speakpipe.com/Canadian Creepies. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Oh, and also you can email me, CanadianCreepiesPodcast@gmail.com.
We really do. Well, Val and Kyle.
Yeah.
Props to Kyle. Really do go through all of the comments and everything you guys send to us, and yeah, we take everything into consideration. We love you guys.
We love you. Thanks for listening. Sorry to depress ya.
Stay creepy.
Stay creepy, and don't let the bed creeps bite. Thank you to Kyle McDonald for editing and composing our theme song.